All right, guys, we are down to the last side, the last 5 locks holding this box closed on Lock Picking Lebowski's treasure chest. This guy here obviously is next. I was a little worried about this. Well, in fact, I still am a little worried about it, but I didn't know anything about it. There's no engraving, no marking, no nothing on this. There's a single opening over on this side, and I didn't know what to expect. And Lock Picking Lebowski, he and I were communicating, talking about the battery life of this watch lock, and he let it slip. He says, "Oh, hey, I noticed the next one is the Russian padlock." So, well, I don't know how that helps me, but he says it is Russian, and I believe it. I have never seen anything like this. When I look in there, I see a center, like a probe, and I can't really see a heck of a lot else inside of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the lock cam, and we may as well use what resources we have and take a look at this thing. I don't see that as cheating at all. Let's look inside of there and see what we have to deal with. All right, guys, let's see what we can see inside of this thing. Get that kind of lined up there. All right, I'm looking at the walls of this. I don't see any bitting or anything. This is a round hole. I think you guys saw that going in. There's that probe right there in the very front. I'll try to pull that out to focus. I can't tell how long that is, but that's the only part I could see, even with a light. The rest of that stuff's buried pretty deep. There's a bar that goes across the entire width of what I'm going to call the keyway. There's an awful lot of real rough machine work, it looks like, and some grease and grime in there. And then behind that bar, let's see if I can get the thing to focus. Check the bottom here. Underneath all that grime is another little plate. So I'm thinking either this probe in the front is spring-loaded, we have to depress it to a specific depth, or that plate in the back is maybe spring-loaded as well. I don't know if I believe that based on how much, gum and goop is inside of there. Maybe both the probe and that back plate have to be depressed to a specific depth before this whole thing will rotate or pop out or release the bolt. I really don't have a clue, but I'm going to grab a probe and let's start poking at stuff. All right, let's start doing some experimentation here. Okay, that little probe is not spring-loaded. Let me try that bar behind it. Also not spring-loaded. And if I can slide this all the way to the rear to that back plate. Okay, also not spring-loaded. Nothing in there spring-loaded. That's weird. All right. It must turn. That's the only way it doesn't, there's no plunger, so it must turn either clockwise or counterclockwise. Maybe this is just a difficult turning mechanism. Let me go to the lathe and get a piece of aluminum bar stock and machine it to this diameter, drill a hole down the center of it, and then cut some edges on it so it'll slide down into those 2 slots. Maybe it's just a weird looking key. Let's give it a shot. I don't know what else to try. There's no other holes on this thing to stick my tool into. All right, let's give it a try. All right, guys, this is what I came up with. I made it out of brass because that's the stock that I had that was closest to the diameter that I needed. I drilled that center hole probably much deeper and a little bit wider than it needed to be, as well as that gap. I figured it's better to have a little bit of slop than to have it too tight and pinch. It's very close, but I just left enough to give me some room. I drilled a hole in the end here in case we need to torque it with a tool and hopefully not break the tips off of this new tool. All right, there is a little slop in there, as I expected. Let's see. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Yeah, lefty-loosey's not working. That's not working. All right, I got to take a chance here. Let's try another tool for a lever. Let's gamble and assume that Russians use the same threads. There we go. It just got loose. I think that's turning. And yes, it is. That's nothing but a screw. I think you can see how that grabs on there, and those are threaded. Let me get a flashlight. Camera's probably not showing it. We've got threads down inside of there on that little shaft. Let's pull that all the way out and take a look. In fact, let me unzoom on this and back it out a little bit so the autofocus will work. That is all there is to it, guys. Nothing high-tech about this. They just cut this screw to fit a particular shape of tensioner, and it unscrews out of there. And that tip only engages in that one side. Isn't that something? And I wonder if this guy will go in. No, it won't. It will only go in this way because that shaft is in the way. Isn't that something? I got an idea though. I should have known. All right, let's lock it back up. This does not even actually go down inside of the body of the shackle. I should have looked at it a little closer. There it does. It does go down. All right, so let's tighten it up a little bit. All right, it is locked. Let me find a pair of pliers. Whoops. There went my glass of water. Okay, here we have the Knipex key, the 1301614, and I'll bet you, without all that machining, you probably could have slid this down in there. Get in there. Yep. And using the Knipex key. Why did I go to all that trouble, man? I should have just grabbed the Knipex right away. Anyway, guys, there you go. What I believe is a Russian padlock. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. That's weird. Why did I build this?